Hi, welcome back to Armadillo Designs. Today I'll be showing you how I made a custom fixed retention holster for a Phlster Enigma concealed carry rig. Boy, that's a mouthful. I didn't make this because I was bored, although with some of the stuff, the videos I put on here, I'm sure that's what it seems like happens. The reason I made this was because they didn't offer the type of holster that I needed. What they offered was a fixed retention holster with a light or without a light. They did not offer one with a laser only, so that's what I have. So I had to build one. I highly recommend this for a concealed carry, this Phlster, but I promise you this checks the boxes for at least 90%, if not more. It's fantastic. This was one of the first ones that I recorded. It's really rough. I apologize for that. I'm learning as I go here. I'm going to try to keep my word salad to a minimum so you guys can hopefully understand what I'm doing, and if you're trying to recreate this or do it on your own, it'll make it hopefully a lot easier. I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you for watching. I guess that's it. Oh, and this is like take 42. Yeah. Gotta make this world a better place. Use too much Kydex to start with because you can always cut more off, but you can't add it back. Start by putting the narrow end of the chopstick right into the foresight. Center it along the top rail between the dovetail and tape it down. This will create a groove that will allow the front sight to slide in and out perfect. Make sure and follow the contours of the gun and not to leave any air spaces in the tape. If anything is sticking out that could hang up, tape the zip ties similar to the way we did the chopsticks to create a groove. Cover everything. When taping the trigger well, it can be a little concave, but don't go bananas or it won't come out of the holster. In most areas, there were about 3 layers of blue tape prior to sticking it in the Kydex. Next, set your oven to 290 degrees for 3 to 4 minutes. When you put the Kydex in the oven, put it rough side down, smooth side up. I advise using cotton gloves for this process so you don't burn your hands. If you're wondering about the press I'm using, it's a homemade rig. I bought high temperature foam from Amazon. I built a clamshell thingy out of wood. Then I just apply pressure on it using wood clamps. After clamping it, wait about 3 to 5 minutes for it to cool. Make sure to cover the mag release button with the tape and the Kydex because you do not want to be Captain Conceal and Carry and have your mag fall out of your pants leg at the checkout counter at the 7-Eleven while your hands are full of cheesy nachos and Slurpees. Well, just because that looks really bad. Part of the beauty of Kydex is the forgiving nature of it. As long as you don't cut too much off, even if you messed up the forming, just throw it back in the oven and it relaxes and then you can start over. You can also use a heat gun for spot fixes, if you'll notice, just to adjust the fit. And when you're using that, you'll see the Kydex relax, and then you can use your fingers to apply pressure to the spot or put it back in the clamshell and apply pressure. Make sure you're using the gloves if you use your fingers. Be careful, because the adjacent areas that are close to what you're working on will relax, and next thing you know, you're having to reform the entire holster again. So just something to be mindful of. I used a belt sander to help get the shape of it, but the little 80 grit sanding drum on the Dremel tool works just as well. As you can see, I'm lining up the Enigma rig and marking it where the holes go. If you think you need to have everything perfect and measured, or as though it came from a CNC machine, you don't. I did this entire thing by eyeballing it. I looked at the videos and pictures of how the holster was attached to the rig, and I guessed where it would need to be. The Kydex is around $20 for a 12 by 24 sheet. You might use a third to half of it for this, so you can always start over. If you'll notice, I left an excess of material over the slide on the area that will be touching me. That will prevent any friction between the metal and my skin. But if you leave that uncovered, not only is the oil from your skin going to get into the metal and probably corrode it over time, it's really uncomfortable. It's nice to have that excess of material to make it where it covers you. It is endlessly customizable to make it perfect just for yourself. If you'll notice, I'm using a clear nail polish here instead of Loctite. Just give it a few hours to dry and those screws will not move. My dad used this method for years before they invented Loctite, still uses it, and I do as well. Never had a problem. Alright, if you're wondering what this is, it is rubberized foam pipe insulation from Home Depot. Just take, for this specific part that I was doing, I cut approximately 2 6-inch sections, and then I super glued them together flat. I cut them into the shape I need, then used 3M brand adhesive hook and loop, otherwise known as Velcro, to stick it to the holster. I would recommend experimenting without the Velcro to get an idea where it needs to be placed, then use the adhesive Velcro. It may take a minute, but boy, when you get it dialed in, I'm really trying to grow the channel, so if you guys could like, subscribe, comment, leave a question, share. Again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.